Good morning, everyone. Today we will look at having been traveled over the past 3 episodes from choosing a life partner towards the different roads that one can take as they perceive the differences, and then how the different shape, the relation takes different shape. So today we will look at the trouble spots or the trouble knots where the relationship go through in the course of its time. This is a natural course, and choosing a partner is like a flight of a bat in the dark of night towards a target, because this is not to scare you, but to prepare you more towards the realities of what involves an intimate relationship. So, getting into the topic today, trouble knots, or we can call it trouble spots. So, as the couple are started to live under one roof, either as an intimate relationship or as a marital unit, the differences, unacceptability of these differences, and the disillusionment, and how the partner starts looking at each other as posing difficulties towards each other. So the course that a relationship takes is defined by these trouble spots. So the very reason I say it is trouble spots, but at the same time, they are also required for the development of the relationship. So you can look at them as again as growth points also. So as we move along the topic, you will be able to understand what I meant. So starting with the different principles that guide these trouble spots, we will look at one after the other. The relationship of the partners is more a reciprocal relationship. So as I explain this, so here the relationship is, as we have discussed, is more of a complementary, and the couple usually choose each other at the same developmental level, but in the opposite directions, like we have discussed in the previous episodes. So, like I quickly kind of summarize it, where a dreamer generally is attracted towards a person who is more practical, a kind of pursuer, or someone who wants to kind of mm, uh, like want to have a little more attention, might look for someone who is a distancer, who is more in terms of wanting privacy, someone who is more a kind of fighter might choose a person who is more of a kind of peacemaker, and these kind of complementary relationships is what we have discussed in our previous sessions. So persons who are far apart on their developmental level usually does not choose each other. Like say, for example, who is a kind of alcoholic does not look for someone who is super sober, or someone who is perfect psychological health does not look for someone who is mentally ill, or someone who is not in psychological balance. So here, someone who is very mature does not look for someone who is immature. So there are more incompatibilities. Here, the reciprocal relationship is more in terms of looking at each other as a way of kind of complete for the development, but all this happens, like we discussed, at an unconscious level and not in the awareness. So that is the main reason for all the frictions and the difficulties that come along the way of these um, relations. So this is one aspect. So to make it a little more simpler, reciprocal, what I meant is each one is a bit of villain and a bit of hero. Nothing good or nothing bad, nothing right or nothing wrong. Here, both are equally required for the development of the relationship. So this is one kind of trouble spot that couple face along the way. And the second kind of trouble spot is to do with more of not having a kind of, see, the events in a marital relationship, or for that matter, happen like a chain, so one leading to the other, where we can't really make out what is the initiating and what is the ending point. Like, say, for example, if we pick up a simple example of a typical routine. So you did not give me the breakfast in the morning. I stopped speaking at you, and then you got mad at me because I did not speak to you. I started shouting back, and then we stopped talking to each other, and so on and so forth. So there is no beginning and there is no ending. Anyone can stop to highlight or magnify or exaggerate their own behavior, favoring their own behavior. So what I mean to say is that the relationship is a chain of events that go on with no beginning and no ending. So it's difficult to draw a kind of linear relationship as to what led up to what. So the cause and effect relationship that happens with usual mathematics will not happen in the relationships. So this is also one of the area that the couple starts um, having issues over. And the third and very important principle is about involving a third person when there are, especially when there is a stagnation or a block in the relationship. So involving a person who is respected, could be an adult or could be a family member respected by the couple, coming into the picture as a kind of helping the couple to straighten the relationship is one way where can add, in fact, add more troubles to the relationship. I'll explain it a little more clearly. Here, the person who is coming in could be kind of an experienced person, and then that's why you are confident that the person can help you in straightening or helping you this stagnation. But then the person, let us say that a hypothetical situation, if you look at, if the so-called third person kind of suggests whenever there is a problem, you stop either talking to both of you or try to talk about good things in your relationship. And then this brings in a kind of disturbance in the way that you have already developed a coping mechanism in your relationship in terms of the troubles that that keep repeating. There is a repetition of the same troubles happening. So whenever you try to follow the suggestion and then you only start talking the good things of your relationship, and you are not kind of trying to solve the issues, and then when the next trouble comes, so that's how they start piling up. The troubles or the difficulties or unresolved issues keep piling up. The more they pile up, the more it strains the relationship, and the more they start straining the relationship, the more they go out of control, and that's how the disconnection happens. So even though the third person coming into picture might temporarily help you kind of move on from the distressing block, but then in the long run they keep cropping up all over again. So sometimes in this bringing in the third person can be a child, where one partner will choose to be silent while the other partner chooses the couple or the troubles with one of the children, or and then the child starts trying to come in as a relief to just move on from this distressing state of relation at that point of time. But then over a point, the child is unable to handle this and becomes helpless. And uh, in fact, most of the troubles that happen with the children are because of them involving in the adult issues. So do you see how the things and the involving a third person is not really helping the relationship mature in terms of understanding, in terms of trying to sit together and resolve the issues. So coming to the next principle here, the one of the important aspect is that moving on from the um, reciprocal and bringing in a kind of chain of events and then involving the third person. Here we will kind of try to look at it from a more as to what happens in therapy. In therapy, mainly what we look at is that um, uh, not only the couple are helped in terms of resolving the kind of issues at present, and also in the future how they can, whatever the skills that they learn in the therapy, how they can generalize them into future kind of troubles is also discussed here. So in the process, the couple mature and then they kind of try to develop over a period of time. This kind of trouble spots will help all the three kinds of paths, like we have discussed three paths in our previous session. That is either separation or becoming more dependent on each other, or taking the main road of moving on with the um, continuing of the relationship. Irrespective of the road a marital relation takes, all these trouble spots help the couple grow as a unit. At the same time, there are also blocks coming into picture, not the least coming to the one of the important aspect that I would like to add here is the development in the couple relationship happens over kind of there are blocks and there are changes also happening at the same time. Say if I want to make it a little more clear to you, like say for example, one of the partners says that there is no issue to discuss, while the other partner wants to discuss a particular issue. So since the partner who decides or perceives it as not having a problem is becoming a block, whereas the person who want to discuss and resolve the issue want a change, and then they kind of move forward thinking that things will become better. But then instead of better, the problem might resurface or another problem might surface, and then the same cycle keeps repeating. So what I mean to say, the changes as well as the blocks that happen in a relationship also can be the trouble spots where the relationship or the development of the relationship takes towards a kind of unhealthy course. So this is what I wanted to kind of share with you in this particular episode. And then in the next episode, next week, we will look at having understood the journey and the kind of troubles that one goes through. What are the different ways one can look at resolving these couple issues in a kind of much more mature way. Thank you all. Happy weekend.